He cut from a different cloth. No, we got some of them live on here. See if I can get somebody on here tonight. See what we got. Check my settings on here. Hey, what do Kid Mega? Can you hear me, bro? Control 24. What's going on, bro? Hey, Lola, how you doing? Hey, Lola, you know you're gonna have to hit up Gina because Ready Red. What up, bro? How y'all doing? Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna talk about some things, with the combine going on and the Stephen Jones interview, the Mike McCarthy interview, and the Dak surgery. So that's what we're gonna get into tonight. Professor X, what's going on, man? How you doing? Try to wait for a little bit more people come in, then we go ahead and get into it because I likes to get into it. Mario Sanchez, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Ready, Ray? You think Coop gone, man? Yeah, I look the way Stephen Jones was talking, man. Like I don't, I'm starting not to like Stephen Jones, man, and I'm explaining it throughout this live stream, but I'm not feeling what Stephen Jones talking, man. I'm not buying what he's selling, and I know the real reason why this team ain't winning, man. And it ain't the players. Um, I know Kellen Moore had his ups and downs, but it's the real reason is his front office, man. The issues that because Jerry say one thing, Steven say another thing, and it's just a lot of just people are not taking control of their problems. Like Stephen Jones is not taking the initiative. He's blaming the fact that they ain't got money on Dak Prescott, and it's just a bunch of BS. It make it seem like Stephen Jones does not like Dak Prescott. Like he didn't want to sign him because all he does is complain. If you read between the lines, he was just like, "Oh well, can't do this because the quarterback contract." First of all, every franchise quarterback is paid high. Every franchise quarterback for every team is paid high. So I don't want to hear that BS. So it's a bunch of cop outs and it's a bunch of BS, and I don't want to hear that shit. Jay Hoove, what's going on, man? Everything cool over here. How's everything going over there in Houston, man? Traylon Burks, yes, yes, yes. We're gonna get into the draft and stuff. Closer down the line. I'm still getting my draft prospects up and doing my research, and I got a couple of guys I'm liking or whatever. But this, as far as the draft goes, this is probably one of the best years that we're picking late in the draft because this draft don't have a lot of great talent up front. Most of the talent that the Cowboys need is more so at the end of the first, second, and third round. They're trying to do Cooper like they did Dez. I know. See, and it's the thing. It's a cop out. They did this. We were what 3-5 when we got Coop that year because I remember the game before that. We were at the tailgate. That's back in 2019 when we was at that tailgate when well right before they got Cooper because we had a bye week that next week. We were out there at the tailgate just sitting there. It was cold outside. I remember. I'll never forget that. And we were there. And next thing you know, that next week, that bye week, they ended up getting Coop. Stephen Jones and all them was excited to get Coop. When Coop got there, our numbers went up. Coop was playing. They was doing this. They was doing that. While all of a sudden you're not getting Coop the ball. Coop said himself in an interview. He said, "Hey, I'm not getting double teamed. I don't know why I'm not getting the ball." So that's what I'm not understanding. Like, why all of a sudden now you're putting blame on your wide receiver, but it's your fault that you're not putting your players where they need to be. They schemed CeeDee Lamb open all at the beginning of the season. You seen they were moving CeeDee Lamb all over the place. Why they don't do that with Amari Cooper? Amari Cooper is the number one receiver on his team. He should be getting the damn ball, period. You paid him to be your number one. Why are you not utilizing him? That's not Amari's fault. That ain't Dak's fault. That is the ownership and how they're running this team. What and it makes me go back to the Cole Beasley comment and at first when Cole Beasley first said it, I was like, nah, Cole, that can't be true. But everything is pointing to Cole being right. When Cole left and Cole was like, hey, this front office plays who they want to play. They get the ball who they want to play. And I'm like, wait, but that wouldn't be on the front office. That would be on the coaches. This front office runs this team. And they need to step back and allow coaches to be coaches. And this is the reason why oh, you're in Idaho. Oh yeah, that's right. You did move to Idaho. That's right. You did. My bad, Jehu. Oh my God, Eastside Herald. Coop's days were numbered when they gave Lamb number 88. That ain't got nothing to do with it. That was just the next person that they drafted. They felt like he was deserving of that number. They still running that Jason Garrett too. They're still running that Jason Garrett offense. They're not allowing Mike McCarthy to be the coach. Why do you think that Mike McCarthy, every time he does an interview or a press conference, he comes out and he says basically in so many words, if you read between the lines, he's like, I know how to coach. I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for such and such amount of years. I won a Super Bowl. I've been to NFC title games. Blase, 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 blase. When you hear Mike McCarthy says that, what does that say to you? It says to me that you know that you were here to coach, but you're not being allowed to coach. So I almost feel like Mike McCarthy is like literally like letting other teams know, like straight up, this is where I'm at. If it don't work out here, just letting y'all MFers know I can still coach. Um, I love the fact that Mike McCarthy came in here and the philosophy that he brings and the camaraderie that this team has. That's a lot of stuff that we didn't have before. We didn't have that during Tony Romo's era. It was a lot of split. These players doing this on the over here. These players doing this over here. You feel the team chemistry with what they're doing right now. You can feel it. And I love that part of it. But the Joneses, man, they're tearing this team up. And I can't stand it. I want to change. That's it. I want to go to the playoffs and do something. I want to see our team play good every game, up and down season. Yeah. And see, that's the thing, man. I don't care what coach we bring in here. If the Joneses keep doing what they're doing and interfering with coaching stuff, now the front office does a good job of drafting. Okay. You draft the players, you bring the players in here. I I'm not opposed to the draft your team, make your team stronger. But where they're fucking up it is literally not allowing those players to succeed. What did Stephen Jones say in his interview? Oh, well, the defense is dictating what the offense is doing, and how they're playing us is dictating where we throw the ball. What? You sound like a scared little puppy dog. You need to have your offense out there dictating what the defense does. If the defense dictates what the offense does, that's a recipe for failure. What's going to happen is your defense is going to dictate what your offense do, meaning they they kind of know what you're going to do when you do it, how you do it. They're going to know when you're running the ball. They're going to know when you're throwing the ball. They're going to know when you're trying to do some stupid trickery things that don't work. When these things happen and the defense is dictating what they do, we can't succeed as an offense. See, granted, we were doing great in the beginning of the season. Kellen Moore was in his bag. He came prepared. He had everything he had to do. Remember, Kellen Moore is still learning. So if you know that your offensive coordinator is still learning, you're putting him in a bad position by trying to dictate stuff. Let Mike McCarthy be the coach and implement his game plan and what he's doing so that Kellen Moore can do his thing. Allow Dak Prescott to be the franchise quarterback because Dak Prescott is paid like a franchise quarterback, but he's not treated like a franchise quarterback. And that's not fair for Dak. You got a guy that just came back from ankle surgery, injury that most people would not even play again on. Alan Hearns had a very similar situation too when he played with the Cowboys, but his is actually worse because his foot went all the way around. So with that, everybody kept saying, and Dak kept saying himself, Dak did the right thing. You don't make excuses, right? Dak didn't make excuses. He said, hey, I'm not injured, but Dak knew he was injured. He just had cleanup surgery on the shoulder. Granted, it was the opposite shoulder, but we talked about that. Whenever that other shoulder and that ankle, you favor the stronger side, so you then make that stronger side weaker. So, but it's good that he's getting that cleanup surgery right now. So by the time training camp comes, he's good. He's back. He's back with the team, and we shouldn't have any issues. The Jones got this team like a puppet. Yeah, and it don't matter what coach you bring in, because what's going to happen is they're treating Mike McCarthy as if like he's not a coach. Why the hell you hired him for his expertise, right? But you're not allowing him to do what he needs to do as a coach to succeed. When he was in Green Bay, remember, Green Bay doesn't really have a real ownership. They're owned by the fans, right? Everybody has a stake in the team. So Mike McCarthy had free range to do what he needed to do. Here, it's almost like it's a dictatorship. I don't like the way that the Joneses are running this organization. And we will never win another damn Super Bowl until the Joneses realize they need to sit down and if you're going to hire a good coach to be a good coach, let him do it. If he fails, then that's when you make the decision to let him go. I feel like the way that they're treating Mike McCarthy is not fair right now, because what's going to happen is if we don't make it to the Super Bowl next year, it's almost like Super Bowl bust for him. And that's not fair to Mike McCarthy, because now you're pitting him against his own team. What's going to happen? Now you're going to put Dan Quinn in that situation. It's going to be the same thing. We're going to keep going through this cycle over and over again if they're not allowing these coaches to be coaches, period. I don't give a shit if you got McVay as a coach. I don't care if you got Sean Payton as a coach. I don't care if you got Bill Belichick over here. If you're not letting your coach, it's going to be the same thing all the time. Hell, Mike McCarthy did get us 12-5. Let's not forget that. Granted, we were one and done in the playoffs, but we were still 12-5. So you got to give Mike McCarthy credit for getting this team where they needed to go. And at the same time, these players could have been like, "Oh, screw that! I don't agree with that." But they mess with Mike McCarthy. They bang with Mike McCarthy. These players love Mike McCarthy. They love Dan Quinn. So, with that being said, I'm just saying the Joneses are ruining their own organization. Just like Charles Haley said, Jerry Jones built the house of losers. Well, Jerry Jones has a crush on this team. When Jerry Jones passes away, they're going to give it to his son. I feel like Will McClay will be the GM. That's most likely going to happen. Stephen Jones is going to take over the organization. McClay is going to be the actual GM, even though McClay is he's paid as a GM, so he's technically a GM without the title. Ready, Ray, you said you were never sold on Coop. If you're not getting him the ball, how is he going to do anything? You know what I'm saying? Because if Coop gets the ball, he does something with it. I'm out on Cooper. Cooper is one of the best route runners in this league. And if they get rid of Coop, they're going to – I swear to God, if they do this dumb shit by getting rid of Coop and then re-signing Dalton Schultz, I'm going to be pissed. Nothing against Schultz, but you can get another tight end that's even better than him. Because if you're going to pay him $11 million, you could get a OJ Howard, you could get a Hayden Hurst, you could get what's the other dude? David Njoku. You can get somebody like that for 2 or 3 or maybe 4 million a year that would probably give you just as much or even a little better production than what Schultz gave. Schultz gonna get a bigger payday just off of the strength of his stats alone because he, played well. Not saying that Schultz don't deserve it, but with what we have going on right now, we can't afford that. So you got to pick your battles here. We suffered with Jason Garrett for 10 years, so give McCarthy a chance. Brad, that's the same thing I've been saying, man. So you're gonna give Jason mediocre Garrett 10 years with this organization, but you're ready to get rid of Mike McCarthy after what, 2 or 3 years? You can't even count the first year because that was a COVID year. You can't count that year for any coach that started new on a team that year. Cooper's got to stay. You get rid of Cooper, that's not going to be a good, because what are you going to do? Yeah, you can re-sign Cedric Wilson. Yeah, you can re-sign Gallup, but we don't betting on Gallup. We don't know when Gallup's going to be healthy again. We don't know if he's going to be ready for the start of the season. That we don't know. Jason, clap your hands, Garrett. KVG, what up, bro? Dak had off-season left shoulder. Yeah, I just said that. Oh, you must have just got in. Yeah, I said that. But it was on the opposite throwing arm. And that's what I was saying about the whole Dak thing, too, before you got in the live stream, that, like, of course, Dak shouldn't make excuses or complain or whatever. So, of course, naturally, Dak said, "Oh, I'm not injured. I'm not playing injured. I'm not." We knew Dak had injuries. We knew that. We knew that it was two different things. He was physically hurt and he was mentally hurt because he was still getting his mindset back to um, his confidence to try to come back and play after having that injury. It's a psychological thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah. Did Dak miss throws? Yeah, damn right he did. And those things are his fault. But when it comes to the mismanagement of this team, it starts at the top. It starts with the front office. LVE and Connor Williams can go. I agree with that. I agree with that. I really doubt they're going to re-sign LVE. LVE is probably going to go to the Colts. I could see Leighton going to the Colts. That'll probably be a good team for him, or maybe the Chargers. Who knows? The reason the other wide receivers did good because Cook took Coop. Exactly, Jehu. So what's going to happen is y'all remember them games when Coop wasn't in the game? They were double teamed. They were bracketing the shit out of CeeDee Lamb. They were stopping the other wide receivers, and we were stopped. So having that number one receiver out there makes a big difference, whether you're using him as a decoy or not. Having him out there makes so much sense. 37 touchdowns with an injury shoulder. Geez, that's a grown ass man. Exactly. Everybody want to be down on Dak. Even Stephen Jones act like he don't like Dak. He make excuses about why he had to pay Dak so much money and blaming him for the cap issues. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that because, like I said in the beginning of this live stream, every team has to pay their franchise quarterback because if you didn't pay Dak, then what you was going to do? We was going to be just like the the Commanders, with not a franchise quarterback. And you ain't going to do shit without a franchise quarterback. You're going to be even a worse situation than you are now. Did the Cowboys make a big splash of free agency? No, they're not. They're not because they're cap strapped right now. So first they got to get under the cap. Then they have to figure out which guys that on this team that they want to keep. They got to figure out the guys they want to keep, and then they have to figure out how to restructure some of these other contracts so they can pay some other guys. And then you got to pay your draft class when they come. So JC, what's going on, man? Shout out to you, man. Chargers fan. You must have heard me when I mentioned the Chargers just now. LVE could go to y'all. Who knows? LVE could go to y'all. And he might play well with the Chargers if he goes there. I believe it or not. Sometimes players just need a fresh start. The Cowboys organization is the reason why Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson stepped down in the way they did. Tom Landry was dirty. So, so yeah. Um, they knew. Jimmy Johnson knew. He knew. He was like, I'm not about to be a yes man in here. And then about this whole Simifi Hoku thing, uh, being a hybrid tight end wide receiver. Why? He is a receiver, so why would you do that? That doesn't even make sense. What they need to do is they need to figure out. You had Jeremy Sprinkle, you had Sean McKeon, and then you got Blake Jarwin coming back. You got other tight ends on this team, and you didn't use them. Dak is average. No, I don't agree with that. Dak is definitely more than average. Like KVG said, 37 touchdowns this season, coming back from a devastating ankle injury. I don't want to hear that shit. Dak did good. Did Dak have bad games? Yes, he did. What quarterback don't have a bad game? So we're gonna forget about Pat Mahomes. Went through a 4 to 6 game stretch where he wasn't playing well. It was at one point in the season when we looked at the Kansas City Chiefs and we were like, "Oh, are they gonna fall off this year?" But they got it back. They figured it out and they got it back. So again, KVG said, "Let's pray for Eddie." I know, right? But that's the thing, though. Like at some point, you got to figure that out. Aaron Rodgers, right? Every quarterback has a bad game. They have bad stretches. You know why? Because we're human. We're not robots. Dak was the reason we lost in the playoffs. Is that what you think, Eddie? I don't know what games you were watching, but I don't know what games you were watching, Eddie. But I don't understand how you can even say that. If you're gonna blame anything, you got to blame the play caller, KVG. It's fundamental, Eddie. uh, I just, everybody got their opinions. That's fine, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you look at that game, there's no way you're gonna say that Dak was the reason that they lost that game. You know what I'm saying? Like we fucked up royally just throughout this team. You know what I'm saying? Like defense made mistakes, offense made mistakes. Like if you want to make a blame, you could spread it out to everybody at this point. But the biggest thing is Kellen's got to do better. We got to run that ball. We're becoming at the end of the season we became predictable. And like Stephen Jones said in his interview, oh well, the defense is dictating what we do on offense. Oh, so you're just gonna allow them to do that, right? So we're not gonna be aggressive on offense. We were aggressive on offense in the beginning of the season. What happened after game 6? Even CD Lamb said that. CD Lamb was like, we just lost our luster and we never got it back. And then there's players that you didn't play. You decided that you wanted to make Connor McGovern and use him in a jumbo package like when you had Jumbo Joe Looney to be a fullback when you got a fullback on the roster that you didn't even use. You had Ralston on the practice squad that is actually a fullback and you never used them. That part I don't understand. If you're not going to use these players that you have, then why the hell are they on the team? Stephen Jones talks as if he has no confidence in this team. But that confidence is actually his self. that confidence, the lack of confidence is within itself. What up, Brian SoCal? What's going on, brother? How is this year's crowd players coming out in college looking? So control where we're picking is actually good because the high level talent is nowhere near as great as it was the last two drafts, but you can find some decent talent in the second and third round. And since we're picking in the late first, uh, your guy Lloyd. There's two linebackers that I really would like on this team. There's a couple offensive linemen I want. I really want to get. We're gonna need a tackle. We're gonna need a guard. We're gonna need a linebacker because depending on where they put Michael Parsons, if they continue to do this whole rotation thing with him, you're gonna need another solid linebacker to help out. I know Jabril Cox is going to be back, but he's coming off an ACL tear, so we don't know exactly how well he's going to be. Uh, Mixture of both. Kellen, the most consistent reason why we can't win big games. I agree. Just like his daddy, Jason Garrett, called and played suspect for years under Kellen Moore. So that's the thing. I think that Kellen Moore can be better. I think that he can come out of that Jason Garrett style play calling. It's just that that's who he learned it from, right? So if Mike McCarthy takes him under his wing and be like, look, let me unlearn that Jason Garrett crap, and we're gonna be less predictable, and we're gonna run the ball. You had Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott, and Corey Clement. All three of those guys have specific skill sets that you can switch up and use at any given time in the game. Granted, Zeke was playing with the injury, but you know, all players get injured. So we're not paying it just really depends on what we're gonna do in free agency, right? We know the Cowboys are not gonna make a big splash in free agency. They might do something silly, and we sit here like, what the fuck was that? I could see them going and getting a free agent that's gonna give you value. What is it? Low risk, high reward type of situation. But here's the thing. Stephen Jones was asked about how the Rams handled their team and how they won the Super Bowl. Stephen Jones was like, "Oh, well, we're not going to do that over here." Basically saying we're not going to do that over here. We're not going to hedge all of our bets, and then we don't know what's going to happen next year. Fuck next year. Get your team ready to go right now. Get your team focused. Get what you need to do. If you need to make some trades, if you need to um, move some pieces around so you can get to that point, so you can win. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think the Rams are that much better than the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think. They got a couple of key pieces that are better than what we have. But the Dallas Cowboys had a lot of talent on this team this year. There's no doubt about that. There is no doubt about the talent that the Cowboys had on this team. It almost makes you feel like yet another year squandering talented players. And we're just sitting here like, well, what the fuck? What are we doing? What are we doing? You had a good receive. You had a really good receiver core. Your receiver core is one of the best receiving core in the league. We have a young team. They were talented, and again, when you get these guys together and they start working and meshing, you can't squander those opportunities because that window opens and closes just like this. Not saying that we can't get there next year, the year after, but you're gonna have a healthier Dak Prescott next year. You're gonna have a healthy Zeke Elliott next year. Blake Jarwin's gonna be back healthy. I don't know what they're gonna do with Schultz. I wouldn't pay him no crazy contract. So if he doesn't take anything less, then I guess he got to go out and get Hayden Hurst. Go out and get OJ Howard. Go out and get David Njoku. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get those guys for a little cheaper. Hey, good night, you two. Was about to get off work. All right, man. Appreciate you coming in, man. Definitely appreciate that. We need to get rid of Zeke and we need to take money back from that contract. No, 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 no. I'm gonna tell you why that's not gonna work. And Zeke and Dak are not overrated. Dak is coming off an injury. Dak had 37 touchdowns this season. Coming back from mentally and physically from injury. Not just one injury, but two injuries. Don't forget about that. Zeke Elliott was not playing 100%, and he was still out there. We were not running the ball properly. We kept doing the same thing over and again, throwing the ball, running the ball up the gut, running the ball up the gut. Same plays over and over again. The defense already knew what we were going to do. Every time we popped that ball outside and we ran that ball to the outside, we had positive yards. Dak ain't the problem. Zeke ain't the problem. Another thing is you can't get rid of Zeke because his contract is too high. You think we in a hole right now? Go ahead and get rid of Zeke. You talking about a 15, $18 million cap hit. Fuck no. That's dumb. Dak Prescott, they're already readjusting his contract anyway. They're already doing that. So that's it. Hey to Cowboys, how you doing? Tony Pollard is the best running back on the team. Zeke is still the best running back on this team. Tony Pollard has his skill set, which is different from Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott is your bell cow running back. He is your bruiser back. Tony Pollard can't do what Zeke can do. Tony Pollard is not going to be the number one running back on this team because he's not a bruising bell cow back like Zeke is. Tony Pollard is a smaller, shiftier guy that can catch the ball better out the backfield. That's how you use him. You utilize him in different situations. Using them interchangeably, yes, they can be dynamic together. But saying that Tony Pollard is better than Zeke, that's not facts. Wish there were offensive coordinators in this draft. Reason why Cooper's on this team didn't work. Hey, that's the thing. So if you're gonna do the wide receiver by committee thing, it can work if your number one is like a Coop. Now it could work on this team. We have wide receiver by committee would work with the Cowboys because if you look at what we have now, right, minus the fact that some of those guys are up for a contract. If you look at what they are right now, and you utilize Coop like you're supposed to utilize him, it definitely can work by committee. But they weren't giving Coop the ball. You weren't scheming them open. And like I said, he said himself in his interview that they're not double teaming me. So if he's not being bracketed a double team, why are we not scheming him open? Um, Coop knows all of the wide receiver routes. So why are we not moving him? It's stupid and it makes no sense. Makes no sense at all. And see, Pollard is a great back, and I'm not smoking because I don't smoke. But again, if Pollard was the starter, I guarantee you he would not put up the same yards that Zeke can do. Zeke can actually make yards out of nothing. Tony Pollard can't do that. If they're putting 8 men in the box, Tony Pollard doesn't have the strength to do that. Tony Pollard is a smaller running back. I'm not saying that Tony Pollard is a great running back. He's great. But the way that you use him is not the same way that you use Zeke. They're two different type of backs. So for you to say that he's better than Zeke is false. He's a different type of back. You can't compare them. Comparing Zeke and Tony is like comparing apples to fucking oranges. And it's like trying to put a circle into a square peg. You can't do it. Zeke is a bigger, tougher, bruising back. That's what he does. He's no longer that home run guy. Tony Pollard is your home run guy. So what you do is they're lightning and thunder. You get Zeke in there to plow through that line, get you 3-4 yards. Then you put Tony Pollard out there, kick him outside, and get him on a long run. That's what you do. But if Tony Pollard is your main guy, he's not doing what Zeke is doing. Period. And Dope Dawson, I don't know if you're watching these games or not. Look at what's happening. I go back and watch these games all the time, and I'm seeing what's happening. They're not using Coop. He disappears in games because they're not giving him the fucking ball. They're not scheming him the ball. They're not half the time. He's not even in the game sometimes. And I'm just sitting there like, why is he on the sideline right now when we're trying to get this first down on 3rd and 10? That is the guy you need to have in the game. So that ain't on him. Oh, and another thing, and Lola, thank you for bringing that up. Tony Pollard is not a better blitz pickup person than Zeke is. He can't pick up the blitz like Zeke can. Zeke has bailed Dak out of a lot of sacks by blocking when he's supposed to. Not saying that Tony Pollard can't do it, but he's not as good as Zeke when it comes to because being a running back ain't just running the ball. Pass blocking is just as much as not more important for a running back to be able to do. And if you cannot do that efficiently, you will never be a number one running back. And that's what Zeke bringing to the table. Y'all need to stop disrespecting Zeke. Stop it. But I'm gonna let you talk. Though. I'm not gonna keep talking to you. You go ahead and keep thinking that. His numbers were good in Oakland. He just wasn't happy in Oakland. And that's why he got traded to the Dallas Cowboys. And you gave a first round pick for him. So why are you not utilizing him? We're not utilizing him. Coop, I said this many times. Coop is one of the best route runners, wide receivers in this league. Period. Go back and look at those games when he wasn't playing. We wasn't doing a damn thing on offense. We wasn't getting that ball down the field because they knew he wasn't there. Ask these cornerbacks for these other teams who they respect. They respect Coop. Trust and believe that shit. Just because he's not a diva wide receiver doesn't mean that because y'all so used to like Dez doing all this shit. We don't have that no more. We don't need that. We need with all these good wide receivers on this team and the way that we spread the ball around, you need guys that are team players like that. Not saying anything bad about Dez. Dez was great when he was here, but you don't need that. Oh, I need to get the ball. I need to get the ball. Now he did speak up. If you listen to him in his interviews, he said, "Hey, I don't know why I'm not getting the ball." He basically said, "Hey," without being disrespectful, he said, "Yeah, well, if I'm here to be the number one wide receiver, y'all need to I need to be the focal point of this offense as far as the passing game goes. Period." What up, Malcolm? Oh yeah, Kid Megan, you definitely got to come when we play Washington, because now that they're I said the Commodores. I don't know why I keep calling them the Commodores. The Commanders. So whenever that Washington game, it's gonna be lit next season, though. I'm telling you that right now. You said, hell, at least you have a quarterback. And see, that's the thing, man. Cowboy fans are so like against Dak. I don't understand. I've never seen a fan base that hates their quarterback so fucking much. This Some of these fans of this team act like Dak hasn't done anything or doesn't play well. Like I don't understand. Who the fuck else are you gonna get on this team to play quarterback? Do you know how hard it is to get a franchise quarterback in this league? Ask Washington if they would want Dak Prescott. Ask ask the Commanders if they want Dak Prescott. I mean, we're we sit here and act like we're so privileged and shit. With these talented teams. Again, dope. I'm gonna say this again, and for the last fucking time, had we've had talented teams, but the issue is our conservative ass fucking coaching and the Joneses interfering with that and not allowing us to be successful. That's the problem. That's the problem. Even when Tony Romo was here, when Tony Romo was the quarterback of this team, he took the team and put it on his back sometimes. We would those 8-8 seasons with Tony Romo would have been 2-14 had Tony Romo not been trying to do what he did. Y'all on that crack if you think Dak ain't good. Like it just the fuck. You got to give a dude credit for coming off an ankle injury like that and throwing 37 touchdowns. And we were 12-5. Some of y'all act like we won 2 games last year. We were still 12-5. Granted, yes, we were one and done in the playoffs. I get that. But we got to do better at our game management. We got to do better at putting our players in positions to win. We weren't running the ball properly. We kept playing. See what Kellen Moore was doing is if it didn't work, he'll go do something else, and 3 or 4 plays later, he'll come back to that like the defense forgot what you was trying to do. They know what the fuck you doing. They see that. And some of these fans don't know diddly squat. And I'm just like, I thought our fans were smarter than this. I really did. I really did. We literally had, we had, you look at our roster and you look at the Rams roster, right? Outside of Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and Cooper Cup, that's their top players, right? So you look at that and you're like, hmm. Then you look at the talent the Dallas Cowboys have as players. What's the biggest difference between the Rams and the Cowboys? It ain't the players. Tell you that right now. And I feel bad for Mike McCarthy right now. I do. They are disrespecting the shit out of Mike McCarthy. If I was Mike McCarthy, I'd be like, man, fuck this team. I don't want to be a part of this crap. Why would I want to be a part of this crap? Why would I want to deal with this? Why? Why? Y'all created all this crap in the offense. Jerry Jones talking about something. They asked him questions. All you had to do was say that Mike McCarthy is under contract. He's our coach. Period. You sit here to well, Sean Payton. I love Sean Payton. Dan Quinn. Yeah, he could be a great coach one day. You're giving too much to the media, and you're giving them the leeway to twist your words up. And that whole Jerry and this whole Jones family wanting this attention, you're disrespecting your coach by doing that. You're disrespecting Dak by doing that. You're disrespecting your core players by doing that. And I am so sick of this. We're not gonna win nothing ever again until the Joneses either realize that or they sell it off to somebody else. Even though they're not gonna do that, it's a family company. But it just sucks. It just sucks. And it's not fair to us Cowboy fans that are rooting for this damn team and the Joneses are just fucking it up. Ask the Hall of Famers that played for this team. Ask Emmitt Smith. Ask Michael Irvin. Ask Deion Sanders. They know what the real reason is. Yeah, y'all should have heard Dallas Sports Radio when we had Quincy Carter. Yeah, y'all remember the Quincy Carter years? Come on now. Said Lakers getting that ass smacked again. Hey, Lola, I don't understand why the Lakers lose so much. They got so much talent. We talked about a lot of talent, right? But sometimes a lot of talent don't work together. But in our case, our players love each other. We got a lot of chemistry with this team. But when you're not playing these guys right, what's happening is you're taking and you're wasting talent. You're wasting talent. Why do you think some of these players go to other teams and play better? If you lose Dak right now and he go to another team and he start winning, y'all same stupid mofos is gonna be in here scratching your head like, well, why he didn't do that with Dallas? Because it wasn't his. Y'all need to read between the damn lines. I'm gonna need y'all to just stop being fanboys for a second and look at the bigger picture. Read between the lines. See what's really going on. Because it's the stuff that's not in your face that's the issue. It's about coaching and adjustments. Bruce Arians adjusted too late against the Rams. That's why we lost. I think y'all lost because of the same reason, coaching. Yes, go Bucks. I agree with that. You're not even a Cowboy fan, and you get that. So shout out to you. Goddamn. Like, if I could get that from some of these Cowboy fans, then I wouldn't have to be sitting here having to step out of my character for a second to try to explain shit. Because come on. Yeah, Troy did. Get your head in the game. And I think with Dak, though, I think that I just think that he's still in the transition of, okay, yes, I'm the franchise quarterback now. So when is it time for me to take over? And I think it's one of those things where it's like I want Dak to have more control because I believe that he can do it. Let him do it. Let him do his thing. Let Dak do his thing. Jerry only care about ticket sales. Yeah, yeah, and that's the sad part about it. He's an offensive minded guy because offense sells tickets, defense wins games. I'm gonna say it again. Offense sells tickets, defense wins games. Just a bunch of clowns. So I don't understand. I just all look. I don't mind people having you can feel how you want to feel, right? That's on you, right? If you don't like Dak, okay, give me a reason why. Because this is what I hear from people, right? When they say that they don't like Dak or Zeke, I don't understand the Zeke hate. I really don't understand the Zeke hate. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you know how many teams would love to have Zeke Elliott? Do you know how many teams would love to have Zeke Elliott on their roster? Go and look at some of these other rosters, right? Just go look. Go look at these other teams, right? Look at what we have and what they have and what we have and what they don't have, right? It makes you scratch your head, right? Because the Bengals are not better than the Cowboys. Let's let that be true. The Bengals are not better than the Cowboys. Sometimes when you get to that point in the playoffs, Lady Luck sometimes is on your side. I like the young Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be a great quarterback going forward, right? He has a trash offensive line. Their offensive line sucks over there. He done got sacked like 19 times in the game, but they still found a way to win games. They still found a way to get to the Super Bowl. So the point I'm making is you got to make adjustments. When you get to the playoffs, that little stuff that you was doing in the season, it doesn't help. You have to switch it up. You have to do different things. You got to come hard. The fact that this front office act like they scared, they're acting scared, and that's the problem. It's obvious Jerry wants to sell tickets. He wants to draft offensive stars in the first round. Yeah, and that's what it is. But Deli, got to do the right thing for your team. You got to do the right thing for your team. Period. Yes, Gilbert. Yeah. So 31 other teams would love to have what we have on this roster. They would. Look at Jacksonville. Look at the Jets. Come on now. Look at the Giants. Now, you talk about a team that got talent that don't know what the fuck to do with it. The Giants got talent. Look at all the wide receivers they got on their team. They got a good wide receiver core. They're not doing nothing up there. They look like boo boo. What up, David Jenkins? What's going on, bro? Um, no, I hear you just saying. You know I ain't worried about that shit. Uh Gina. E2, all Dak need to do is start taking over games and do audible. Screw Kellen also runs sound. Yeah, and I think that with Dak, I think that he's still trying to figure it out, right? He's like, okay, am I supposed to is it my time to take over and do what I need to do? Because I guarantee you Dak can take over and do it. He can. It's just a matter of how they want to do it. And the way Jerry be talking, I'm so sick of Jerry shit right now. I'm so sick of Jerry. I mean, Steven. He act like he don't like that. Blaming blaming the fact that he can't do this and that because y'all signed that. I said this earlier in the chat. Every team has to pay the franchise quarterback. You got to be better at money management. Stop. Take the blame for something. Stop throwing the blame on your quarterback. The fuck you throwing the blame on Dak for? That makes no sense at all. Said the Bengals kind of look like the Cowboys. Let me tell you something. They definitely not better than we are. But they got some luck, and their defense made stops when they needed to. Because when the Cowboys team is healthy, I'm not afraid of any team in this league, right? I know our players are good enough to do what they need to do, but when you're not doing the right thing and scheming your guys and calling the right plays and not allowing your quarterback to be the franchise quarterback of this team, then I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. It's just one of those things, man. Um, Dak has to get back and get comfortable running himself. So whenever the play breaks down and it's 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4, Dak need to run to get them yards. And I know that in his mind it's probably a psychological thing because again, that's what happened. He scrambled when he broke his ankle. That was the play that happened. He literally was scrambling. He ran to the left side. Um, the linebacker grabbed him and yanked him down, and it bent his ankle. So I get that, and that thing probably replays over and over. I can only imagine how that makes Dak feel. Just replaying that shit over and over in your head. That's a tough situation, but at the end of the day, You just gotta make sure that you're um, slide if you need to. If you see a guy coming, just slide. Just slide. Um, Jerry also makes the coaching staff play the higher paid players over who's best suited at the time. Well, if that's the case, then they need to play Amari Cooper then because he's one of the higher paid guys. But it just goes back to what I was saying in the beginning, Deli, before you got in the chat, that when Cole Beasley said this front office plays who they want to play, and at first I didn't believe that when he said that, but it's true. I know that's right, Lola. Let him know. Um, no, Dak didn't run because Jerry Jones told him not to. That's the real reason why he didn't run. But you know, I don't know. I understand why Jerry said it, but I also don't understand why you said it because if you're trying to win games, man, you can't play scared. You can't play scared. Now, if Dak Prescott came to the coaching staff, if he came to the Joneses and said, "Look, this is how I'm really feeling. I don't want the media to know this. This stays in house." If he came to them privately and said, "I feel this way, that way, and the third. I'm not comfortable doing this, that, and the third," then okay, I understand that. And Dak has every reason to make that case. But Dak did the football guy thing to do and say, "I'm not injured. I don't feel no pain. I don't." That's him being tough, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to make excuses as a player. Because even when I played football, even when I was hurt, I played. I didn't make excuses. I still tackled my guy, and is what it is. Et, did you see or hear Dallas talking about cutting Anthony Brown, then bring him back for cheap to back up Kelvin Joseph? I heard that. I don't know how true that is, and if that's the case, that's dumb. And I don't think that that's something they would do because I think Anthony Brown still got another year on his he still got another year on his contract. So I don't see why they would do that. Yeah, and Dez said it too. You're right, Lola. He did. But nobody was paying attention to Dez because everybody thought Dez was complaining at the time. Because I damn sure didn't listen to Dez. I was like, Dez, you just but I get it. He said it, Cole Beasley said it. Um, even Brandon Carr, y'all remember when Brandon Carr said the shit? When they brought Brandon Carr back, right? Remember when they brought him back last year? During the COVID year, remember when they brought him back? He made a comment, and that was when Mike Nolan was the defensive coordinator. He made a comment, and they cut his ass. The fuck? So I can't speak my mind now. Oh, okay. Well, it is what it is. I don't know where Dave Moore. I haven't seen Dave Moore in a minute. Mommy Slayer, what's going on? Exactly. And Cooper told Dak to run and change that stuff up now and again. They going after Cooper because Dak and Cooper are. See, here's the thing. And Jess, Dak and Coop have chemistry. Dak has chemistry with all his wide receivers on this team. And I think that they'd be dumb to let Cooper go, and I'll be pissed if they do. Cooper is your number one wide receiver. You need to allow Dak to take over, and when things break down, let Dak and Coop figure it out together. Easy Law Nation. made a point today. He said it's possible that they didn't target Coop because they would not have an excuse to honor his contract. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with what Law said. Shout out to Law Nation. But yeah, yeah, and I was saying that same thing too. Like it's a reason why it's a rhyme or reason why they were doing that. They're trying to throw him under the bus to make it seem like, oh well, his contract is not is we shouldn't pay him this much money, or he's not worth this such and such money because this, that, and the third. Shit, that ain't on him. That's y'all being stupid. That's y'all being vindictive. That's y'all being sneaky and trying to do stupid stuff to make it seem like Cooper's the problem when in fact he was not. I'm just disappointed at this point. The fan base can't come together and boycott Jerry. He's robbing us. Oh well, we can't boycott Jerry. That's going to be a losing situation because Jerry got too much power, and Jerry has done good things with other teams. So other teams are not going to be down with that. You look at you look at Jerry is one of the big reasons why. Not taking up for Jerry at all. I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm just saying why that wouldn't work because Jerry is one of the key reasons why the Rams got their new stadium. So, you know. So, Mommy Slave, before you got here, it was somebody in here talking bad about Zeke. And I'm just like, I don't understand that. But how I feel about Zeke, Zeke is pivotal to this team. The disrespect that Zeke is getting is clearly unwarranted and it's distasteful. It's absolute garbage because like Dak Prescott, there's 31 other teams in this league that would love to have Zeke Elliott. We sit here and do this shit every year. We make it seem like, oh, it's the player, it's the player, it's the player. I feel you, Mama Slayer. Um, we sit here, we do this all the time, and then these players go to other teams, and then what? Oh, they win a Super Bowl. Oh, they go to the NFC title game or AFC title game, whichever side they're on. Or they go to another team and they play well. Should have been was in. So I'm just saying. Oh yeah, Kid Mega. They always be trying to do that. Victor Lee, what's going on, man? Blue, you know what this is about. They're trying to throw us off because of the skeletons that popped out the clothes. Yeah, well, yeah. I think it's more than that too. I just really think that Jerry and the rest of the Joneses they crave attention. They crave it. They crave attention. I think Tony Pollard is a lot better than Zeke Elliott. I don't think so. And the reason why I say that is because um not taking nothing, and like I said before, I'm not taking nothing away from Tony Pollard. He is a great back, but he's a different type of back than Zeke. Hear me out. He's a different type of a back than Zeke. Zeke is your ground and pound bruising back. He's gonna make a negative yard situation a 2 yard play. Tony Pollard can't do that. He's not big and strong like that. He is a smaller scat back that when you kick the ball outside, he's doing this, that, and the third, and he's getting you to where you need to go. And he's getting long yardage. He's your long range guy. Um, so that's just pretty much what it is. Um, if the fans just empty the stadium for at least one game, that would get Jerry attention. It would, Delhi, but unfortunately, they're not going to do that. I would love to see that. I would. I agree with you, Delhi. I just don't see them doing it. Kid Mega Kid Mega going savage tonight. And that's another thing. And again, they need to stop talking about personal business to the media. That's the thing that's really pissing me off right now. Stop it. Stop. The whole thing with the coaching thing I told y'all about, and making Mike McCarthy uneasy about the situation. That part. You telling the fan base this and that just because you want attention, Jerry. Stop, Jerry. Because what you're doing is you're tearing your team apart. You're making your quarterback look like, well, what the fuck? Y'all don't got confidence in me. You making your coach be like, well, damn, you hired me because you thought I was great. Now you don't want me to be the coach. Like, it's too much back and forth. No, David, I'm gonna get it. I don't get phones with the day they come out. I'm gonna wait till probably next month to get it. But I'm definitely gonna get it, Dave. I'm probably gonna wait for a month. But I'll say this though. I just really think this team needs. I feel keep your business private. We said this because the more and more things get out, you already know that you're America's team, right? I think that being a player for the Dallas Cowboys is hard because you're always in the limelight. You always got to question. They always question the players. Oh well, Jerry did this, Jerry did that. Like I don't want to have to answer these questions because I'll be honest with you, I'll probably get fined every freaking week if I was in the NFL because I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to be having to be talking to the media about that, and then you mix up my words and say I said this and I didn't say that. And I got to go to the player that was offended and tell him, hey, bro, the media did that shit. That wasn't me. So it's just a lot. So in order to stop that, just shut the up. Just shut up. Keep house business in house. You don't hear. Yeah. Did y'all hear anything from the Green Bay Packers since the season ended? They've been quiet. They've been quiet. Why can't the Cowboys be quiet in the offseason? I want to see our team be quiet in the offseason. Why do we always have to be Thomas Garrett? Whatever, bro. Why do we always have to be the center of attention in the offseason? Why is that? Why the fuck is that? I don't give a goddamn. Can we be quiet? Jerry told the media Dan Quinn would be a great coach for Dallas. Yeah, and Deli, before you came in the chat, I said exactly. I mentioned that. I mentioned that earlier. I said you make Mike McCarthy uncomfortable. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Oh, of course, the Ultra, David. JJ and the son need some milk. They need some milk. All right. Oh, Dave Edwards. Yeah, that's what's up. That 71 is excuse me. That 71 to 7017 won that Super Bowl. The first two Super Bowls. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what to say sometimes because this team here stresses my life. I love this team to death, but they stress me the fuck out. They make me feel like choking the out of somebody. I appreciate you coming in, Mommy Slayer. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen you in here. I appreciate it. I haven't been doing a lot of live streams because it's the off season and stuff, and y'all know I'm trying to get a new career job now, so I've been literally working out. I don't know if y'all noticed I lost weight, but I literally lost like 15 pounds in the last couple of weeks. So um, I'm gonna look way different next season. So um, just came in with Dak having off-season surgery. Do you think he'll come back even hungry? Ronald, yes, welcome in. I'm gonna tell you, I do believe that. I think that he's gonna be hungry. He's gonna be ready to go. Because you look at this. Last year for Dak was after he had the surgery and stuff, he was busy rehabbing, right? So there was no getting better because you're more so focused on getting your rehab done. So I think that this offseason, after the shoulder surgery, he's pretty much basically just getting himself back to football and his confidence back. And I think that it'll be much better for him this season. So I think you do see a much hungrier Dak, and we know how Dak is. We know how much he loves his team. We know how much he wants to win. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Um. Oh yeah, Jason Garrett. I mean Jason Thomas Garrett. It was. Yes, Jessica. Praise God. Hey, Kid Megan, why did you delete Mommy Slayer's message? I think you deleted the wrong person. Okay, yeah, David. No, that Galaxy S22 is the truth because you can record forwards and backwards in it. So when I get that phone, I'm definitely gonna my videos are gonna be on point. Oh, it was? Oh, damn, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know it was the same dude. I'm just sitting here trying to. Well, I'll let y'all handle that. I'm just sitting here, I'm just trying to keep the live stream up. My moderators is on it. Okay, no, I got you. I got you, Jessica. I got it. I got it now. My bad. One playoff win, we will win a Super Bowl. Put it down. I said it. Well, if we gonna get to the point where we win any Super Bowl, we definitely got to. This Jones family has definitely got to do better. They definitely got to put this team in a position to win because I've seen teams with lesser talent do more. So if a team with lesser talent can do more, there's no reason why we can't. So, but again, so it's 11:32 here in the DMV. So I gotta because it's getting late. I still got some other stuff I gotta do before I go to bed and get up for work tomorrow. So I just want to get on this live stream to talk to y'all for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. Let's see. Any last comments, concerns before I end tonight? How much better is better? That we don't know. Jessica, you on it? You know, you know. Yes, Thomas Gary, you're right. The Jones family got to get the hell out of the way. They gotta let the coaches be coaches, and that's pretty much it. Yes, David, I'll be in Frederick tomorrow. I gotta go back to that military base for work tomorrow. Yeah. So shout out to my moderators. Appreciate y'all being in here, keeping the trolls at bay. Um, okay, Kid Mega, appreciate you, bro. To all my moderators, shout out to my channel members. Love you guys, man. All the ladies, Jessica, Lola, Gina. Shout out to y'all, man. Love y'all to death, man. To Cowboys, I don't know if she's still in here, but she came through for a second. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all been so supportive of your boy, and it's all love, man. Um, that's it. You said Jones plus the ref equals disaster. Yeah, you right about that. That shit. If it ain't Jones, it's the damn refs, right? It is what it is. Oh, you off till Thursday? Oh, damn. Yeah, well, I'll be there Thursday too, David. I'm there all this week. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all coming in. We'll convene next time. I'll probably do a video tomorrow. And talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great night, y'all. Peace out.